Greetings. Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I know it's been a while, but it's good to see everyone once again on another live of the Cosmic Answer LLC.
It's only been a week.
Yeah, it's just been a week, so let's get at it. My name is Judge,
My name is Gigi.
and we are here to provide you with information on why you're the most interesting person in the world.
Mhm.
So, how's everyone been? Lot to cover. Well, not a lot to cover, but one thing to cover that I want all of you Cosmic Answer viewers to know about what's going on out there. As you saw in the post that Gigi has sent out to everyone,
Mhm.
we're going to be discussing this wacky Mercury in retrograde. Great. That's what we're going to be doing.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Everybody's familiar with this condition. Mercury retrograde is the most influential and active retrogression of all the planets. The reason why? Because Mercury goes into this position every 88 days. So that's around thrice a year. Do people still use thrice? Or they just say three times?
Oh well.
Yeah, three times in a year, every 88 days, Mercury goes psychotic. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
what does it mean for retrograde period? Well, from the position of the Earth, it looks like as if the planet is going in a backwards motion. Well, from what you understand, planets they move in its own synergy. For example, the sun and the moon never retrograde. It's always direct. And Rahu and Ketu are never direct. They're always retrograde. So the five grahas, which are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter, they go direct and retrograde at times in their cycles. So whenever a planet goes retrograde, it's closer to the Earth and it gives more of its influence on the Earth. With retrogression, things don't go the way you think they ought to, because this is when a planet has to backtrack what it has been doing. It's sort of like the rear view mirror, because you could go direct so far, but you always want to look behind and see if there's anything following you or something that you may have missed. And this applies to us. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, it's time for us to reflect and see what is going on. So whenever a planet goes retrograde, everyone, it's time to put everything down and review.
Right.
Because for writers or even texters, you always want to proofread what has been done, because if you use the word and it comes up I'm and you send that, people are going to make it think they don't have good grammatical skills. So that's what a retrograde does. You have to go back and backtrack what you've missed. So I'm going to explain to you what a retrograde does.
Did I help you?
This also applies to past life, everyone. For those that are familiar, no one ever really dies. Before we partake in life in our mother's womb, we did have a life before this.
Mhm.
And there are some things that were unfulfilled. No one ever really completes anything in the limited time we have on this earth. So when a planet is in retrograde, this is something that wasn't fulfilled before in our past lives.
Mhm.
Each planet has a purpose, each house has a purpose, and each sign. So when you have a planet in retrograde, there's something that you have to complete now, especially when that dasha period has been activated. So when a planet is in transit, or gochar for Sanskrit, when it's retrograde, it's time for you to slow it down, reflect, and look within and see what hasn't been resolved, all right?
Right.
Now, with Mercury being retrograde, we have to first understand what does Mercury represents. Or in Greek term, Mercury is Hermes. He's the messenger of the gods.
Mhm.
Wherever your Mercury is placed, that's where you're supposed to communicate and convey a message.
Mm.
Let's just say if your Mercury is in the fourth house, there's a lot of communication going on there that must be met or sent. It also means that your parents is highly involved in the community or they always have something to say of importance. So wherever Mercury sits in your chart, that's where you're supposed to convey a message. This is where you're supposed to be organized and how you manage money. Because Mercury is the merchant who moves money in the chart. So if it's in retrograde, what do you think that means to you? It's letting me know that there was a message that you wish you could have gotten out before, but now it's the chance. It also means that your mercurial energy has been magnified because retrograde planets are close to the Earth. So it's definitely trying to tell you something. So, best believe in summary, Mercury retrograde is an incomplete message that hasn't been sent out. And it's something that you have to articulate, organize, and manage. All right. So now that we got that squared away, I want to cover a few things. Our lives are an hour from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time
Mhm.
every Tuesday and Thursday. And as you can see across the prompter, your donations and your contributions are greatly accepted to keep us live on air. So thank you for tuning in to the Cosmic Answer.
Thank you.
And please support Gigi and I here
Mhm.
by subscribing to us for one, hitting that like button, and sharing our streams with others because that's how we get the message out. Because
Right.
this is Mercury
Mhm.
sending out a message. So
Mhm.
our Cash App is $ Vedic Man. And also we accept Venmo at Judge-Jackson-1 and PayPal at aksaturn80@gmail.com. Anything helps conveying this message. Now that we got that squared away, let me share something with you on the screen of how this works.
There you go.
Okay, if everyone can see this in front of you, this is a North Indian Kundli or just a North Indian Vedic natal chart. And this is no random description. This is actually the Pranma chart, which means Gochar or horary chart. This was taken exactly at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time today. And as you can see, we're going to be focused again on Mercury, all right? Or Bud in Sanskrit, as they would call.
Mhm.
Now, have you noticed there are three grahas or planets that has a red bubble, which are Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. That simply means retrograde, everyone.
Okay.
With that being said, it's putting emphasis on the sign it's in or whatever house that applies to you. But since this is going on today, right now, it's applying to Libra somewhere near the ninth Rashi or the ninth house. So Mercury is going to be retrograde starting as of today. And it's going to be in Libra until the 1st of October. I want everyone to pay attention to that. Mercury is going to be retrograde as of today all the way until the 1st of October. So that means, everyone, he's going to have his retrogression back into his own sign of exaltation, Virgo, on October 2nd through the 18th of October, which is approximately a little over 2 weeks.
Mm.
So, Gigi, what I'm explaining to them is Mercury is going to have an attitude as this progresses.
Mhm.
So here's what this means, everyone. As Mercury retrogress back into Virgo, he's going to come in contact with two malefics. You have the Sun and you have Mars. Now, Mercury has an inimical relationship with Mars and a friendship with the Sun. They're both in his sign. Whereas Mercury is now sitting in the house of its great friend Venus. One thing I want to pinpoint to all of you, when Mercury is in someone else's sign, he has to abide by that Lord's rules. And here's what I mean by that. Mercury, only for a couple of degrees, 0 through 1 degrees, is going to have to understand what it means to be in Libra. Not only Libra, everyone. Let me see how do I get over to that other screen. Well, up here. Trying to get here. It's not switching over. Give me just a moment, everyone.
Let me see.
If everyone can see, if everyone can still see this, I have another screen right here. Guess it's just going to stay like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the actual nakshatra placements of the grahas.
So sorry, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to it.
All right.
Just stay right here.
Yeah, this is the actual nakshatra placements of the 9 grahas. If you notice here, Mercury is in Chitra nakshatra, which is the 3rd pada. Chitra means to create. So while Mercury is in retrograde in Chitra nakshatra and also Tula Rashi, which also means Libra, he's unconventionally trying to deal with relationships and contracts. Mercury is unconventionally trying to deal with relationships and contracts. And with it being in Chitra nakshatra, which means to constantly create, he's definitely stirring up something in everyone's favor. So if you're trying to form a business, get a deal signed, or do an exchange, I would proceed with caution because look who's ruling that nakshatra that Mercury's currently in as well. Mars. If you pay attention to Mars, he's all about passion, duty, and finishing things off quickly. So you best believe there's some quick, hasty things that are going on while Mercury is retrograding in Libra. So you have to constantly create, constantly be on the move. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of things are going haywire out in the world, i.e., credit card machines are shutting down, or you may see a lot of cash-only signs. Mm-hmm. Beware of automobile accidents or computers and the internet and Wi-Fi going into flux. Because Mercury is trying to reevaluate some things. So this is one thing to consider while Mercury's retrograde in the sign of Libra. Now back to this chart here, everyone. Please understand that after October 1st, Venus is going to go into Scorpio, right here. Venus is only a few degrees out. It's going to be heading into Mars sign of Scorpio in Vishaka Nakshatra. It's already in Vishaka Pada 2. It's going to be going there pretty soon in Pada 3. So when Venus goes there, and when Mars goes here, Libra is going to be completely open. So there won't be any impact on relationships, contract assignments, or dealings. However, you best believe for about 2 weeks in October, just be aware of what Mercury is going to do. Things could get crazy because Sun and Mars are still there. Mercury doesn't like Mars, and he's okay with the Sun. But here's one thing to look out for when Mercury goes back into his exaltation. Mercury will be combust from October 4th to October 15th, which is 11 days. What I advise for everyone around that time, do not sign any contracts. Don't put anything on a dotted line. And watch your mouths. Because you're going to say some things that you wish you didn't say. Watch who you send message to or emails or texts. Because you could send a text to the wrong person that wasn't supposed to get that message, and you'd be in a heap of trouble. Because again, Mercury's the messenger. He's trying to reevaluate things. Backtrack, recheck, proofread, everything. This is what happens. Be careful out on that road. Be careful what message you send. And be aware of who are around you in your camp.
I would like to say hello to Sandra and Lakeisha. Um, Chandra, she has Chandra. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. But
Chandra.
Chandra. Sorry, Chandra. She has a question though.
Yes, Chandra. What's your question?
Right there, she asked, "Is this for Libra or collective as we're in Libra?"
It's a collective.
Mm-hmm.
I was letting everyone know where Mercury is currently transiting in Libra just for a couple of days until October 1st.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Lakeisha, she says, "Okay, I'm not going to whom this may concern emails." That's right. You have to be careful right now.
Proceed with caution.
Yes.
So everyone, I'm going to now explain what Mercury retrograde means to everyone.
Okay.
For all 12 signs. This is from your Lagna and your Chandra placement, the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you are Aries ascendant or Aries moon, this applies to your 7th house. And Mercury rules your 3rd and your 6th house. So the ruler of your local surroundings and the ruler of your day-to-day tasks are in the 7th house and they're going retrograde. What does this mean? Everything that you do in your local community on a day-to-day basis, people are going to be watching you and they're going to see how you're operating. My advice to you, don't be so chatty with your neighbors while this is going on, okay? This retrogression is going to end, I would say, around Tuesday, October 19th. Just be careful who you talk to in your neighborhood. And don't overdo it when you're trying to get things done. It could be from cooking dinner, washing dishes, or running errands. Because other people are going to be watching you, okay? If you're a Taurus ascendant, Mercury rules your 2nd house. And he rules your 2nd house and your 5th house. For Taurus ascendant, this is about your family and your children. And Mercury is going to be, which house is it? Is going to be in your 6th house. So when it comes to your family and your children, Mercury is retrograding in your 6th house. That means troubles, obstacles, all right? Just pay attention to what your family are saying about you. Because again, this is all about communication. You're going to have some family members asking you for money for vague reasons, as I could say. Your children, they may get into some trouble. It's time for you to talk to them about what's going on, because Mercury is going to definitely put an effect there in your 6th house. They're going to worry you. You're going to hear some things that you probably don't want to hear, Taurus. So look out for that as your 2nd and 5th house Lord or retrograding in the 6th. One of your children may ask you, can we have a pet? Just look out for that as well. I would say no, because they want a pet, but after October 19th, they're going to put that responsibility on you. So look out for that.
Mhm.
All right. For Gemini ascendants, Gemini literally rules your first house and your fourth house. So this is about you and your home life or your parents. And Jupiter is retrograding in your, where's it retrograding? It's retrograding in your fifth. Let me see. Gemini, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's retrograding in your fifth house. Only rules your first and your fourth. This is good for Gemini ascendants.
Okay.
Because the fifth house is a Trikona placement. And it's barely in a friendly sign for only a few days. When it comes to you and your home, it's time to get creative. Have fun and talk to your children. If you have a romantic partner, it's definitely time to get a message out to him or her. And be careful in sports activities. You may be on a losing streak while this is going on. Because Mercury's retrograding, and while this is happening, if you're losing, it means you're supposed to learn from these mistakes. Yeah, so if you're a Gemini ascendant, start talking to yourself a lot more. It's okay to talk to yourself. Start doing affirmations in the mirror. Talk to yourself. Give your parents a call. See how they're doing. They're thinking about you because they're talking a lot about you. All right, Cancer ascendants. With Cancer, Mercury rules your 12th house. And where is Gemini? Where is Virgo? Let's see. Rules your 12th house and your third house. He rules your 12th house and your third house, and Mercury is retrograding in your fourth. So when it comes to things in your bedroom, your secret isolated time, and your siblings and local communications as well, it's affecting you in your fourth house. So for Cancer ascendants, you feel as if you're being isolated.
Mhm.
And the reason why you are being isolated because you have to spend more time with your siblings, have them to communicate to you,
Mhm.
and also find something constructive to do in your alone time. As a matter of fact, my youngest daughter is a Cancer ascendant, and recently my brother was reading to her. Her brother, not my brother. Her brother was reading to her.
Mhm.
So if you're a Cancer ascendant, spend time with your siblings, have them to communicate to you. And in your alone time, find something constructive to do
Mhm.
because this is what Mercury does. It's time for you to start building up your vocabulary as well.
Mhm.
All right. For Leo ascendants, Leo rules your 11th house. No, Mercury rules your 11th house and your second house. And he's currently transiting also in the third house.
Okay.
Yes. So if you're Leo ascendant, Mercury is ruling your 11th house and your second house, transiting in the third. 11th house are your big brother, big sister. Second house is your family. And also, the 11th house is your father's younger siblings, your paternal uncles and aunts. And it's transiting in the third house. So you may hear about an uncle or aunt moving in your local community during this Mercury retrograde. Or if they're nearby, say hi to them from your father's side. Talk to your uncles or your aunts from your father's side because they're nearby in your community. Also, as it pertains to your second house Leo ascendants, it's time to open up and say what you have to say to family members.
Mhm.
It's time. Be careful what you say, but something needs to be addressed. And there's going to be some money issues that you may have to talk to payroll about because Mercury is retrograding. Something's going on with the money. All
Mhm.
right. Because there's a new season approaching. That's my advice to you, Leo ascendants. Okay, for the Libras, and Chandra just asked about this. If you're a Libra ascendant, Mercury
Oh, it's
rules
Virgo. Is it? Not the Leo.
Virgo. See that retrogression. Mm. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The Kanya Rashi, or the Virgo ascendants or Virgo moon. Mercury rules your ascendant and your 10th. These are strong placements. First house, that's Mercury, and your 10th house, your final Kendra, your 10th house. So this is about you and your public image and career. And Mercury is transiting your second house. Here's what this means. When it comes to you and your career, you have to let your family know something. And me being a Virgo ascendant, you have to let your family know what's going on, how you feel about your career, and how you feel about your overall health. And this happened. If something's bothering you, that's Mercury with a check engine light.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to talk to somebody in your family. And my bride Gigi is family. So during this time, for the next few days, Mercury is letting you know, Virgo ascendants, Virgo moons, talk to someone in your family. And they will have an answer. Because this is about you, your overall health, and your public image.
Mm-hmm.
All right? This is about your career. It's about everything you must know. So talk to somebody in your family. Because it also has something to do with money, communications, and earnings. All right, now to the Libra ascendants. Libra rules your 12th house and your 9th house, and it's transiting in your ascendant. So the 9th house and 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
One house is the house of religion, the other one is the house of faith. So Libras, this is about your belief system. Now, why would Mercury, the agnostic atheist, rule a Libra's two houses of beliefs and faith? And because it's transiting your ascendant, it's time to reevaluate your belief system. And Mercury is communicating with you. Something came up that you possibly have learned that Mercury said that's not it. Even if you're a Libra moon, check and see where Mercury is from your house placements. Mercury wants you to understand there's some more answers out there. You may need to talk to a clergy, a guru, or your father. Ask your father, is there something about me that I don't know of? Because I notice my hair is red and everyone else's hair is brunette. That's what I mean. Mercury wants you to check your belief systems and your level of faith. Libra ascendants and Libra moons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now our 8th sign, Scorpio or Vrishika Rashi. Mercury is ruling your 9th house. And what else? Let's see. Your 9th house. No. I think your 8th house and your 11th house. Let me just make sure. Because that's a lot of suns. I'm just pulling at the top of my head. So bear with me, everyone.
Impressive, though. Impressive that you can memorize all of that.
All right, give me just a moment. This is retrogression happening to me right now. All right, Mercury rules your 8th house. Oh, I was right. And your 11th. I was right. I should have.
It's Mercury. It's okay.
All right.
You got this.
Scorpio ascendants or Scorpio moons. Mercury rules your 8th and your 11th house. All right. What is 8th house? Things that you got to change. I'm going to keep it brief and simple. And 11th house, hope, wishes, dreams, and desires coming true. So changing and wishes coming true. Mm-hmm. Mercury rules this. So Scorpios, you want to know what your issues are? You don't let people know what makes you happy. Because y'all want to be all mysterious, dark, and powerful and show your chaotic side. Quit your lying. There's things that makes you happy and you have to convey a message. So Mercury is transiting your 12th house. Yeah, your 12th house of faith, isolation, hope, wishes, and yeah, all those things. If I were you, no, no, no. Yeah, Scorpios, if I were you, I want you to get a journal. And for the next 2 weeks, write down what Mercury is telling you in your dreams. Because Mercury's going to the dream world right now. You're going to have some nightmares. And the reason why you're going to have nightmares, because you're not telling anybody what you're going through. So get a diary, get a green book. This represents Mercury. As a matter of fact, let me show you everyone. My eldest daughter got this for me. It's a Virgo journal. Get something like this. It doesn't have to be Virgo, but it could be green. And write it down. Write it down because that's where Mercury is in your dream world.
Okay.
And remember everything that was in your dreams. And that's the message that he is trying to convey to you about what makes you happy and what you need to change, Scorpios. All right? Now, Sagittarians are Danus ascendants. Mercury rules your 7th house and your 10th house. All right, it's time for business. Sagittarius ascendants or Sagittarius moons, whether it be Mula, Purva, or Uttara Ashada. It's time for you to renegotiate your business dealings. And Mercury is currently transiting your 11th house of hope, wishes, and dreams and desires coming true. This is also the house of fanfare, sycophancy, and people that support you unbiasedly. No, that support you biasedly.
Okay.
So you best believe people that love you, your big brothers and your big sisters, your network, they're going to be coming to you and telling you some great ideas. And I would listen to them. Because Mercury gets radical when it's retrograde. It's in Libra, so it has something to do with relationships and business dealings. That's how Sagittarians operate. That's why Mercury rules your 7th and your 10th house. 7th house is the house of business. 10th house is the house of job or career. So why would Mercury be in the 11th house? Because if you count where Mercury is from your 7th house, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it's 5 places. That's a trine location. That means you're going to have some fun, Sagittarius. Great things are going to happen. It's going to also involve something that you enjoy with sports. I would play some, if you're a dude, play some basketball with your buddies and talk some business over. Because you know how when people get together, it could be kickball, it could be tennis, tetherball, volleyball. While you're doing that, Sagittarians, discuss business with your friends.
Lucky.
And there are going to be so many great ideas. As a matter of fact, October 1st, what days does that fall on? You have a calendar?
That is on Friday.
Friday, a weekend.
Wow, nice.
Get together what's fun, i.e. happy hour, dinner, volleyball, tennis, or a mile jog.
Yeah, Lakeisha says, I knew it was time. I just told my supervisor
Yeah.
we need to talk. I was just being cautious about my approach.
Now's the time, Lakeisha.
That's awesome.
Get that done. Mercury retrograde is going to support you while it's in Libra. While it's in Libra, all right? Okay. Now, we're going to the Makara Rashi or Capricorn ascendants. Capricorn rules your 6th house and your 9th house. 6th house is the house of obstacles, challenges, enemies, debts, pets, acts of service. 9th house, again, is the house of your beliefs, your father, long distance travel, blessings. Why would Mercury rule these 2 placements for Capricorn? Because Capricorns likes to be organized. They want to have a head start on their competition. And Leslie, if you're listening, this applies to you. How are you doing out there? I hope you're watching. It's time to understand about what you do to solve problems with higher knowledge.
Okay.
Solving problems with higher knowledge. Mercury rules the 6th and 9th of Capricorn ascendants. That's a Dashtana, and that's a trine. That's what Capricorns are all about. Solving problems and being ahead of everyone without worrying. And he's transiting your 10th house. That's what Libra is. Because when Capricorns are at the top, they like to be fair and appear balanced.
Okay.
Here's what Mercury wants you to do. In your career, it's time to get to work and learn something new. Your competition, they're gaining up on you. They're on the attack. If you're a Capricorn moon, that means if your moon is in Dhanishta, Shravana, or what's the other one? Dhanishta, Shravana, or Uttarashada. Yeah. They're figuring you out. It's time to learn something new. Bring in edification. Edification. This is what Mercury retrograde in Libra wants you to do. That 6th house Lord and that 9th house Lord always wants Capricorn to be uncomfortable. You know how when you go to meetings, even though you're number one, let's just say in home improvement, you're Home Depot.
Okay.
You're ahead of Ace Hardware. You're ahead of Lowe's. You're ahead of all the mom and pops. But every time you go to that meeting, the manager says, we suck. We suck during this fiscal period. And you would say, but we're always ahead of Lowe's and Ace Hardware. What do you think that manager is going to say to them, babe? They're going to say, oh, you're comfortable where we are? You like barely winning? No, we need to destroy them. That's your mindset. Learn edification and always feel as if you are squeaking ahead. So Capricorn moons, Capricorn Lagnas. Learn something new for edification only, to stay ahead of the game, because your competition, they're right on your coattails. Okay, we're going to the Kumbha Rashis, the Aquarius ascendants. And Mercury comfortably rules your 8th house and your 5th. What are 5th and 8th house? And even if this is your moon, if your moon is in Uttarashada, if it's in Shatabishak, no, if it's in Dhanishta, Shatabishak, or Purva Bhadrapada, and it's in Mercury rules your 5th and 8th house, Mercury is sitting in a trine, your 9th house. So your 5th and 8th house Lord are in the 9th house. 5th house is fun. 5th house is your education. 5th house are your children and you as a teacher. And it's also your fame. Your 8th house is what you need to change. It's something that you have to reevaluate. It's something that has to be put to death and be reconstructed. And Mercury is transiting your 9th house of higher learning, of knowledge, of the father, of your teachers. So your 5th house Lord went 5 places from himself. This is a trine. This is good. They're letting you know it's time for you to teach the teacher. But it's going to make you uncomfortable because it's also the 8th house Lord of discomfort. Is that for Aquarius moons and Aquarius ascendants, there's someone you have to talk to that you know that taught you everything you know, or you know that somebody that matches your wits. You got to teach them something. Oh, ooh, imagine telling your sensei, I learned the move that you never taught. I would like to share with you. What? I taught you everything. I understand, but can I show you, please? No! That's what's going to happen to you Kumbha Rashi moons and Kumbha Rashi Lagnas. So get prepared to tell somebody that you know taught you everything. It's time to teach them something. Proceed with cautions, but I believe in you Aquarians because you're bold. You're frank. You have no problem teaching the teacher. Y'all the mad scientists. Y'all know everything. So that's my advice. This is what Mercury retrograde is doing. Be thankful. It's only for a few days. All right? Just get it in. Teach somebody that taught you something. All right? And we're making it to final sign, which is Mina, or the Pisces ascendant or Pisces moon. If your ascendant or your moon is in Purva Bhadrapada, Uttara Bhadrapada, or Reti, this applies to you. And Mercury rules. Which house is on Pisces? Darn Pisces. Oh, let's see. I know I was on the road. All right. Mercury rules your fourth house and your seventh house. What does this mean? This is Kendra. These are Kendra placements. Fourth house and seventh house. This is the house of your home, your parents, your source of happiness, and your seventh house, your relationship, contractual dealings, other people, and your marriage. All right? But it's in. It is in your eighth house. Ooh. You Pisces. Things that make you happy, relationships, dealing with business. Mercury is sitting in your eighth house because you're going to receive some uncomfortable news. All right? Some uncomfortable news about your home, about your car. Check your car. Something about in your relationships or your marriage. All right? It's going into the eighth. Eighth is very uncomfortable. Something has to change in your house. Something has to change, and something has to change in your marriage. All right? This is for Pisces ascendants and Pisces moons. This could be anything from decoration, renovation, your health, your positions, or your partners with business. And it's time to talk to someone that is involved with litigations or people who control your assets. It could be involving your mortgage or your contract. Something has to be reevaluated. So if you're a Pisces, Lagna Moon, if you run a business, talk to somebody about what's going on behind the scenes. All right? This is what is going on because your eighth house is Libra. You want to be fair and balanced when it comes to inheritances and everything because you want no trouble. Pisces are the most non-threatening sign. Even Pisces moons, you care, you think about others and balance. Very non-threatening in that eighth house. But Mercury is going there, oh, I'm going to bring the threat. You know what I mean? So Pisces, it's time to talk to somebody who's controlling all your assets. It involves your house and your relationship. All right, so Lakeisha made a comment, let me get ready for my two Pisces ascendant kids to talk about their allowance. That's right. Oh, so I covered all 12 signs. Now, we have about 17 minutes. Is there anyone that have any other questions after what we just covered with this Mercury retrograde? Because until you do, I want to also cover a planet that's also going to be getting on Mercury's nerves. And I need to pull up that screen once again. Do I go here?
Share.
Share screen.
There you go. Look, right there.
All right, everyone. There's one planet that I want to show you that's going to be getting on Mercury's everlasting nerves. And this planet right here, his good old buddy, old pal, old rival, foil, Jupiter, Guru. Here's why. Here's what's going to happen when Mercury transmigrates into Virgo next week, October 2nd through October 18th. Mercury is going to go here. But as you know, anybody that don't understand dristis, or as we know as aspects, Jupiter has three aspects: fifth, seventh, and ninth. So in particular, Jupiter's ninth aspect is going to be hitting Mercury when it goes into Virgo. So if we count exclusively 1, no, 12, 11, 10, 9, right here. Jupiter's in retrograde, Nichaban Raj Yoga with Saturn is going to be touching Mercury when he goes here, along with Mars, along with Sun. And the ninth aspect of Jupiter, he blesses that house when it comes to you achieving higher knowledge. And you will also treat that house as if that house was your father. So that means you will pay reverence and respect because your father becomes your teacher subsequently from your mother. Your mother is your first teacher. Your father becomes your final teacher before it's time for you to go into the world. So when Mercury retrogrades here, Jupiter's ninth aspect of reverence is going to be talking to Mercury. And Jupiter and Mercury don't like each other because one is belief, the other is knowledge. No, logic. They both have knowledge, but one is belief, one is logic. So could you imagine Jupiter trying to be a father to Mercury?
No.
And Mercury is going to be in his exaltation.
He's really not trying to hear it.
He's not trying to hear a damn thing Jupiter has to tell him. So this is going to affect everyone who I'm talking to. Let me exit out of here. When Mercury goes into Virgo for 2 weeks, there's going to be somebody that's going to try to be a father to you or teach you something. And you're going to reject it. But one thing I can tell you, you better listen. Because when Mercury's retrograde, he's trying to reevaluate things and backtrack what he's done. Well, Jupiter's looking right there. And let me just give you a dramatization. Hey, Billy, who's this? Billy is Jacob. Jacob from Detroit. Yeah, man, how you doing? All right. Hey, man, I saw your Instagram. Yeah, man, what you think of it? Ooh, you hurt a lot of people's feelings, man. Not based on all the likes I got. No, man, I'm trying to tell you. Look, listen to me. Wait, hold on. I haven't, man. Wait a minute. I haven't heard from you in a long time. So what's wrong? I'll say, no, man, don't get me wrong. Your message is great. But there was one point at 5 minutes and 18 seconds. You said something that gave me cause to pause. Well, I haven't heard any complaints yet. Look, I know a lot of people, and I'm just saying, no judgment. It's best if you edit that part out. Well, until something happens, your advice is noted. I gotta go. That's Jupiter trying to give fatherly advice to retrograde exalted Mercury.
So listen, everyone. Check your ego and just listen. Okay.
Yeah, this is what's going to happen from October 2nd to October 18th. All right? Because Mercury is going to be combusting too. Your ego is going to be stir fried. Yeah. Rotisserie. It's going to be a pretty cocky month for everyone based on where Mercury is transiting. And also check your dashas. If Mercury is activated, you best believe it's going to be amplified. All right. Any questions out there? Hello, Carmen. Thank you for tuning in. We got about 10 minutes. Anybody got questions, or y'all just enjoyed learning today? Doesn't matter. All right.
Or anybody would like a quick birth chart reading? Just a question.
Yeah. Take a look at what that Mercury retrograde is doing for you.
Okay.
What's
So just
going
let
on
you
out
know we
there?
are available for Vedic chart, native chart readings. If you're interested, please message us through our email, and that's the Cosmic Answer LLC at gmail.com. Or you can message us through Facebook. Just hit us up on Facebook through Messenger, and we will return the message to you ASAP. Okay, we're good at responding back.
And this is a copper vial, everyone. A lot of healthy remedies. Ayurvedically, it's explained. That's why I recommend you drink all your water up. Copper vials. All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, we have about. So how are y'all doing on Mercury retrograde? How has it been so far? I
Yeah.
know we're already experiencing a few things
Mm-hmm.
already, like just by working online. There's been
Mm-hmm.
some glitches. We've been having a few issues with our internet. So there it is. So everyone, just make sure you be patient, focus, breathe. Please drive carefully during this Mercury retrograde. I know just by was it yesterday? You know, people were driving quickly and just like all over the place. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to drive like an old lady. I'm just going to watch and be watchful and do a lot of defensive driving. So yeah, y'all
And
know how this
but,
goes.
but here's the reason why all these accidents happen.
Mhm,
Because people
mhm,
are trying to pay attention
mhm,
to what was going on.
mhm.
You may miss a turn because you're too focused on trying to get somewhere.
Right.
So you may accidentally run a light or a stop sign or a yield or a no turn on red, and boom,
Mhm,
it happens.
mhm.
Another thing that this retrograde is going to cause, again, what I said about watch what you say, you're going to say the wrong things to the wrong person. And when that retrogression goes back to that exact degree on the day you made that wrong thing to say, you're going to say, oh my God,
Can't believe you said that.
yes,
Yes. So that,
I got to fix that.
and that's what we have. That's that the picture of our live tonight. It was saying, please. It
Yeah.
says sorry for what I said during Mercury retrograde.
Because
So
here's
yeah.
why Mercury is going to transit so many signs.
Hmm.
But do you think he's making a perfect transit? No.
No, it's gonna be crazy.
Mercury is the perfectionist. That's why he rules Virgo. He's going to want to, that's why he retrogrades 3 times a year. He's going to want to go back, backtrack, and fix what hasn't been done. So he's going to say, oh, shoot, I forgot something at the house.
Hmm.
Hello? Dude, I left my wallet. Can you find it? Your wallet's not here. Well, where is it? It's not here. Where's my wallet?
It's just.
God dang it, it's in my back pocket. It was just in the other side pocket. That's what Mercury retrograde does.
Yeah.
He backtracks. He wants a perfect route. They're the messenger. If you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, what do you think is going to happen?
Mm.
Imagine doing a slideshow presentation in front of a huge client,
That's
and
embarrassing.
you got 2 major screenshots missing.
Oh
You're
no.
gonna say, "Excuse me, everyone. Let me just check my USB." And you know how them pompous folks be looking like.
Oh my gosh, you didn't get it together.
I flew 800 miles for this. I'm sorry, just bear with me here. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. That's what Mercury retrograde does.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of backtracking to do, everyone. All right.
So be mindful of the things that you say, okay?
And this retrograde is to help you.
Mhm.
So for 2 weeks, no, like a little over 2 weeks,
Oh gosh.
there's going to be some things that you've done for the past few months that you're going to backtrack. And whatever that degree of Mercury goes back to, let's just say it goes back to 17 degrees Virgo. Hypothetically, when Mercury was direct at 17 degrees Virgo, recount what you did on that calendar day, the things you've done, and up to the point of a degree of Libra, he's going to backtrack and go back to that date. There's some things you did between 17 degrees Virgo to 1 degree Libra. And this is your chance to fix it. And while you're fixing things, you can't worry about being left in a race. Because in NASCAR racing, they do laps. But they always have to have a pit stop after so many rounds. While you're pit stopping first, all the other cars are passing you up. But you're retrograding right now. Get those tires and get it fueled up. Don't worry about them because they're going to have pit stops too, based on the house they're in. So take care of that. Get them tires changed, rotated, fuel it up, get you some water, and get back on that track. But you can't be focused on what they're doing because if you do that, you're going to lose. Does that make sense, Betty?
Yes.
All right, so we got a few more minutes here. And we would like to thank someone. We'd like to thank Astro Zion. And that is from Miss Lakeisha. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Keisha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And this is what we do. This is why we love what we do. And I'm glad that you learned something today. And take that and share with your family, especially when you mention your children. That was hilarious.
And also, here is our email address. If you all are interested, if you're interested in contacting us, please feel free to contact us through our email. We're happy to do, we're available for native chart readings.
I like how the YouTubers do it. Is it right here or how they do it? They go in reverse. Oh, forget that one.
Yeah, right here.
How you do it? Right. Subscribe to this channel.
Subscribe.
Right there. That's how they do it. That email address right there. All right there.
So if you're interested in a native chart reading, please hit us up. Make sure that you have all of your information, okay?
Yes.
When it comes to the readings, make sure that you have your birth details, the exact date. Well, of course you know your exact date, but the exact time. The exact time and location, so that we're making sure that we're giving you that we're giving you the reading for you and not for anyone else. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're just so grateful that you all have continued to, support us and watch our videos. And we thank you. Please like and please share. I have already put down the link to our YouTube channel. So if you like, please subscribe and let others know about us.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. So everyone, we're going to be back Thursday in 47 hours. 47 hours. We will be back here at the exact same time at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. So that's early in the morning to all of our friends and viewers in the East.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we always say, the most interesting person in the world is you, because when you go enter, that's where you find your soul at rest. I can't wait to speak to all of you again in 47 hours. And we're going to be sending you the link to the topics which we're going to be discussing. All right. So my name is Judge.
My name is Gigi.
And we're here with the Cosmic Answer LLC. And until next time, be blessed. Namaste.